We've got other stuff to talk about. We have to reflect on something very important. First of all, we have to reflect on our new segment. Cracker Watch. Call me Polly, because I've got a hankering for these cracker-ins. Glenn Greenwald. Here's one of the Twitch streamers, you know my name, you piece of shit, who got suspended yesterday for calling white people crackers, which Twitch regards as a racist slur, explaining how vital it is that free speech should be limited. Listen to this shit. Free speech can be saved only if there is censorship. And then, to his credit, it's just 2 minutes and 20 seconds of me being correct. 2 minutes and 20 seconds of me being just unrepentantly, objectively, inarguably, empirically correct all the time. Everything that I said, every word, every breath, perfectly correct. He could have clipped this out of context, but he didn't. Presumably, he's too stupid or arrogant to assume that this presented in its full context would make me look quite good. Should I play it? Yeah, I'll play it. Free speech is only valuable socially if it is meaningful and if it helps us arrive at moral and truthful positions. If people use their right to free speech to spread misinformation, which leads demonstrably to harm of innocent people, that would be an element of our free speech, which we must excise in order to preserve the value of free speech itself. True! You can watch the rest of it if you want. Yeah, they pulled it from Coconut Island, not even from my stream. Which I'd like to believe means that, like, Glenn actually follows my stuff. I know he knows enough about me because, again, as I've said many times before, one time I was making fun of him on Twitter and he responded by posting a YouTube video posted by a Nazi account accusing me of being a pedophile. So he, you know, the funny thing was the video had like 40 views, so it probably wasn't even the first one to come up. It was probably like, yeah, he subbed to all the fan channels, you know, all the fan channels, the left fan channels, the right fan channels. Whatever. Anyway, phenomenal stuff there. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic stuff, you know. Glenn, very white, tragically. Difficult stuff to reconcile, but, you know. There we go. So that was fun. We're doing sort of the Twitter roundup right now. We've got so much to go through. First of all, Count Dankula 2, Electric Boogaloo. Hassan and Vaush, banned from Twitch. Let's go.
I personally am really happy that Twitch has finally decided to take a stand against racism. Racism is a plague in our society, and any examples of it should be absolutely stamped out and censored and banned and removed from every discourse, not just the online discourse, but from every single discourse.
True.
I'm very, very happy.
I think just any time you even have a remotely racist thought, you should just die instantly. When you're born, the government should put a little chip in your brain and it cause your synapses to misfire.
I'm pleased that these two racists have had their platforms taken from them. One of them being extremely rich socialist Hassan. Basically, he has been...
This needs to get funny fast. We'll speed it up.
Banned from Twitch, saying yes, it is for exactly what you think it is. Anti-white racism. Don't know why he felt the need to change, you know, add that little caveat in there, the anti-white racism. It's just racism. I mean, it's just racism, Hassan, for using the term cracker. Using the term cracker, and also another not wealthy socialist, at least I don't know if he is Vaush, our boy.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Okay. Wait, this can be to my advantage. He's right. I'm very poor. Please donate. There we go.
Vaush, the one where anyone else's jokes are serious statements, but anything that he says, so he's just joking. See, I can't use...
True. Oh my, he's still mad. It's been like 2 years and he's still mad. Yes. He's still mad, dude. Oh my god.
I'm just joking. Defense. He can though. He can. I mean, sorry boys, I don't make the rules. Vaush does, and it's weird how all the rules he makes can suit and empower all of his arguments. And Vaush has also been banned from Twitch for using hateful slurs or symbols, because it turns out that Vaush and Hassan, both of whom, I mean, I thought were against racism, were using racist slurs And of course, Twitter has done its usual and perked up and said that, oh, you can't be racist to white people because, according to the definition this week, racism is when racism is when people in power, power structures, blah blah blah. Let's just go with the classical version of racism, the one that is still in everyone's head, right? Where you pass judgment or
wait, it's my position that it is racism.
Derogatory claims or have prejudices against people based on their race. To me, that's racism. That's the way I was raised. At least that was the definition of racism throughout my entire life. And what they do is they get that definition in everyone's head and then change the definition slightly so that people can be lumped into that group of racists, but that type of thing, where it's like redefining words, but you're still making everyone on Twitter says cracker's not a racist term. Cracker's not a racist term. So
Isn't this guy just vaguely gesturing at imagined hypocrisy, or am I wrong? It's the prerogative of so-called free speech warriors like Count Dankula to be silent whenever the right actually engages in any meaningful censorship. And their only real role is to cry foul every time a neo-Nazi is banned for being a neo-Nazi, and then every time a leftist is banned for breathing wrong, they'll say, I thought you were in favor of banning the neo-Nazi, but now you're not in favor of being banned for exhaling. Curious. You know, it really is. Again, like, I'm really glad these people aren't lawyers, like, you think a person should go in jail for killing a person? Well, then what's to stop you from going to jail? Hey, you're being arrested for thought crimes, but you were in favor of this guy getting arrested for raping and murdering a child. So do you like it when people are arrested or not, liberal? Like, that's always forever going to be the discourse at hand here. And they've been doing it for years, and the dialectic will never advance. The Quartering did the same thing. Oh, we'll watch all of these videos. Don't worry. This is the arc, baby.
Find out from that extremely valid source of information, Wikipedia. Right?
Sure.
Now, let's have a look here. Now, as we know that Wikipedia is lefty dominated, right? Even the co-founder came out and said, yeah, leftists are coming on and fucking up all our articles, and all of our articles are presented through a left-wing lens. So, Wikipedia can't be trusted. However,
what are we going on about?
Written by left-wing people. So let's just be fair. After all, it was you guys that wrote it. Cracker, sometimes white cracker or cracker, is a racial epithet directed towards
what
white
point
people,
is he trying
used especially with regard to poor.
I don't think this really refers to me, because I am of the opinion that it's a racial slur. Yeah, this should be called Crackergate, I think.
Rural whites in the southern United States, those terms, but then again, I'm not about it. And they will just roll over and take this from Twitch, because here we have examples of two racists being banned. And I thought that's what they wanted.
Roll over?
Every single one of them will accept this and not be mad about it, and they will just roll over and take this from Twitch.
Oh, gotcha.
Here we have examples of two restricted and being banned from the major platforms, because after all, Twitch are a private company. and
see what I mean? Like to him, it's delightful, and he thinks he's quite he's quite funny. Like, these lefties got banned, and even though this other there's another ban that happened, he's okay with that ban, but it's not his ban. It's like, this is like the game Pong. It's the two brain cells he's got. What the fuck is this accent? Any effort I put into recreating Count Dankula's behavior would be wasted on a person of his caliber.
Can do what they want, right? It's their platform, it's their rules. I mean, it's not like you have a right to a platform. Slurs are only bad when used against oppressed people. Vaush and Hassan have been banned. No, they should not. Should they be able to use the word cracker? Yes, they absolutely should. They can deny its meaning and deny that it's racist all they want. But,
wait, but I didn't.
Okay. See that's just bullshit. They're just making excuses, like.
Wait, okay, Count. If you take a look at my Twitter, you will literally find me referring to the term cracker as a racial slur. This is...
Like the guy that beats his wife. Look what you made me do. I mean, he just wants to be able to do horrible, evil things, but he doesn't want to have any blame for it. He doesn't want any responsibility for it, and that's what Vaush and Hassan are doing. So basically, you're going to get them. You're going to get their followers going, "How's it racist? It's not even racist." Like, clearly, factually, fucking is. And no amount of gaslighting is going to change that. However, they should 100% still be able to say these phrases. As for Twitch banning them, well, I think they should have their accounts reinstated. Like, that's fine. They can keep streaming that on Twitch, and they can keep being racist on Twitch because they have freedom of speech just like everybody else. However, the fact that both of them have been hoisted by their own petard
I'm sorry, it's fucking funny, right? These are the rules you wanted. You wanted such things to be banned from the public discourse, right? And basically now it's a case of your own rules are being used against you. But see when it gets to the point, now this is just Twitch, this is just a private company. Now, see when it gets to the point where governments are starting to do that, and you go, wait, not like this. Oh, fucking hell, it's too late. It's fucking...
Yeah, see? First they brought criminal charges against the people who killed other people. Then they brought criminal charges against the rapists. Then they brought criminal charges against people who did assault and battery. But now you're angry when people are being arrested for being gay? Whew. Sounds like you've been hoisted by your own petard. Anyway, this argument is like, it's pretty old, and it's pretty stupid, and Dankula's also pretty old and pretty stupid. So let's not belabor the point. Moving on to the next video. Oh, actually, I feel like the logical sort of conclusion of this is kind of yeah, he's also a cracker, of course. There we go. We look at Glenn Greenwald earlier, but actually, if you look at the last tweet, it's perfect. Look, banning people for using the term crackers is obviously demented and repressive, but the ultimate case of reaping and sowing. It was incredibly easy to predict, and many tried warning that banning people like Milo Yiannopoulos and Alex Jones would inevitably lead to this outcome. Yes. Banning Alex Jones. It's if only you liberals, if only you hadn't banned Alex Jones. Everything downstream of that, of course, a logical conclusion. But this is the argument they make. What they make is that all kinds of censorship are morally identical and indistinguishable, and there's no way of sort of categorically distinguishing between them. And they want that to be the case because it's their prerogative to defend people like neo-Nazis, far-right fascists, autocrats. So by equivocating the removal of them from public platforms to anyone's removal from any public platform under any circumstances. You know, first they came for the neo-Nazis, and then by the time they came to the pit crew avatars, there was no one left to speak out. A reminder, of course, that Cracker Watch continues, effortlessly ratioed. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, let's continue. Okay, the Rational National did a video, but the Rational National is cool, so I don't really see a need to go over that, necessarily. Speaking of cool people, Tim! Oh, this is 21 minutes long. Oh, geez. Well, we'll see what we see, won't we?
Hassan Piker and Vaush, two of the
Vaush.
most prominent progressive personalities on the internet, have been banned from Twitch for using racial slurs. That's literally it. Vaush used a racial and gender slur along with a racial slur, and thus they were both banned. Now, banned doesn't mean a whole lot on Twitch. It's weird. It typically means suspended. However,
Is it Karen? Wait, was it Karen? Okay.
Vaush may be indefinitely banned. We'll see. As for Hassan, he's received his third ban. They'll probably unban him, we'll see, but this is not the same as a mistake or dancing on the line. This is quite literally Hassan Piker and Vaush overtly using racial slurs.
True.
I do not agree in principle with these personalities being banned. However, Vaush explained to us that private companies, if they don't want you on the platform, you got to follow the rules. Maybe you should follow the rules. Hassan himself, in a video not even that long ago, he talks about how
it's got to be the same argument. It's got to be the same argument from all of them. I will say, okay, in case there are any conservatives watching, okay, I'm challenging you guys. I'm challenging you guys to advance the dialectic, all right? So we can maybe move this conversation one iota forward, so it's not the same thing over and over again, okay? So here are two positions which are not contradictory. Are you ready for it? Okay, these are two positions that I hold, all right? I think that private companies do have a right to enforce TOS platform, or to enforce terms of service requirements on their platform. I do think that's a right they have. Whether you're in a capitalist, socialist society, whatever, I think institutions have a right to set rules for people who use their services on their platform. I think that's true. Here's a second thing that I believe. While acknowledging that, I think you can make moral arguments for or against some types of TOSs. So I'm okay with a terms of service agreement that bans people for being like harassing or for doxing people. I think that's cool. Or for racism, you know? I think that's cool as well, you know? But I don't think that TOSs are good if they ban Jews, or people who express homosexual tendencies, or people who aren't French. Maybe. Possibly. So once you've established that companies have a right to enforce a TOS, that's not the end of the conversation. You then have to make an argument as to whether or not it's a good TOS, okay? Now, to be clear, cracker is a racial slur. Stay mad. Whiteys? Stay mad, whoever's mad at me. Stay mad, okay? I do think that. However, I also think that Karen and bitch are gendered slurs, and people use those pretty often. I think lots of things are slurs because they either explicitly or implicitly target people for demographic characteristics. Their race, their ethnicity, their nationality, their gender, their sexuality. You understand? So, while it is true, I will acknowledge the racial slur element. I don't think Twitch should be banning people for saying bitch either, and they won't, because that would cut off a lot of their stuff, you know. Or everything else that I think could, you know, potentially fit within that purview. Because not all slurs are created equally. I think the N-word's a lot worse than saying cracker. That's why I say the N-word instead of the N-word. Some of you thought I was going to say it, didn't you? Because I'm on YouTube now, huh? Yeah, yes, you did.
Conservatives, they want to make an echo chamber, but they want to own the lib, so they want to be on Twitter and they want to be on these platforms. Maybe they shouldn't be violating the rules. Okay. In principle, I believe it is wrong that Hassan and Vaush have been banned from Twitch. They should be allowed to be on these platforms and engaging in public discourse the same as anybody else. I do believe there is a line in which we do ban content and that censorship is not inherently evil. What do I mean by that? Ian Crossland, you may have seen him on Timcast IRL. He's one of the co-hosts, and he is a co-founder of Minds.com. That is the social media platform.
Is that Moonlord?
He actually had to do for quite a long time content review. Why? People post graphic murder and child abuse, and this stuff is illegal, like overtly illegal content. And I don't mean like speech and expression. I mean videos of adults doing things to kids, like really messed up stuff. And that's what censors are there to do. So we can respect that. I can respect that. I could say, you know what? It's a good thing that there are people reviewing content.
Okay, saying that you're in favor of terms of service censoring stuff, if it's literally illegal, isn't really a hot take. I think you legally have to do that. Let me close the window. No dog posting. Yeah, I'm pretty. You have to for liability purposes. So I don't really think that like counts. You know, like what about harassment? You know.
To make sure criminals aren't doing criminal things. But you see, the issue is when it comes to politics, when it comes to opinion, when it comes to political opinion, and you're not overtly committing a crime, or you're not even targeting someone specifically or advocating for violence against someone, then you should be allowed to say things that are offensive or nasty. And that means, in my opinion, you should be allowed to say racial...
Wait, hold on.
Or you're not even targeting someone specifically or advocating for violence against someone, then you should be allowed to say things...
Wait, why should you ban people for targeting people specifically? Wait, you have to justify that.
Politics, when it comes to opinion, when it comes to political opinion, and you're not overtly committing a crime, or you're not even targeting someone specifically.
Wait, it's not illegal to target someone specifically. Why should TOS ban people for targeting people? What does that even mean? You can't insult people like named? What does that mean? You have to justify that. If you think non-criminal content should be censored as part of a TOS, then where do you draw that line?
Or advocating for violence against someone, then you should be allowed to say things that are offensive or nasty. And that means, in my opinion, you should be allowed to say racial slurs. I don't like it.
Oh, no, he's saying you should be able to do that? Sorry, okay. Hold on.
When it comes to opinion, when it comes to political opinion, and you're not overtly committing a crime, or you're not using content to make sure criminals aren't doing criminal things. But you see, the issue is when it comes to politics, when it comes to opinion, when it comes to political opinion, and you're not overtly committing a crime, or you're not even targeting someone specifically,
no,
or
he's saying that as an exception.
Someone, then you should be allowed to say things that are offensive or nasty. And that means, in my opinion, you should be allowed to say racial slurs. I don't like it. I won't like you for using them, but you have a right to express yourself in that way. And that being said, when these crackpot weirdo racists come out and say these awful racist things, my response is thank you. Now I know not to associate with you, not to support you, and generally to avoid you. Someone could come out and have a bunch of great politics, but if it turns out to me that this person is spewing racial slurs and is generally bigoted, then I'm going to say I don't believe I.
So a person says the N-word. Thank you.
Would like to work with you. I do not agree with those ideas, and those take precedent over many other ideas. I do not believe the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Just because you may believe in smaller government, but then the reason you do is because you want the right to discriminate or oppress people, I'm going to be like, that's not smaller government. That's just you wanting power. And you don't like the government as the power, and you want the power. So no, not a fan of that. When it comes to Hassan, he went on a stream and he basically said he was going to use the word cracker, and it is a racial slur. Now, my understanding is that, at least on YouTube, or I guess the rule is like, don't call people a slur, but you can say the slur, I guess. I do not personally...
So I thought that was the rule too. I thought Hassan was banned for calling people cracker. You know, I didn't think I would be banned because I was just saying cracker. Like, just saying the word, because I'm pretty sure everyone has said crack. Like, that's very ubiquitous. So I thought it was Hassan's behavior, the way he was doing it, that got him in trouble. But evidently, you know, I guess we're cracking down. It's a goddamn pogrom on cracker sayers.
I believe cracker is all that offensive to anyone. However, it's the left that actually got offended by this, and I have to say, I'm willing to bet it was the left that actually reported Hassan. Among his own fans, they were saying, this is an offensive slur, don't use it. Vaush apparently stepped up after the fact and then used the word Karen as well. Now, Karen is also a racial gender slur. It's a specific
okay.
slur referencing a white woman. And he got indefinitely banned for that. And I want to talk about why Hassan and Vaush are wrong completely in their philosophy and their ideology, and this exemplifies it. And I want to say, on principle, they should not be banned. However, on their principles, they should be banned and never be allowed back out.
This is why, I've said this before, I said this with the DGG orbiters, this is why hypocrisy is a worthless standard by which to engage in political discourse. Because if you're stupid enough to use hypocrisy arguments, you're probably too stupid to understand the argument your opponent's making. So you don't even understand what you're accusing of being hypocritical. You know, you don't even know what they can or can't do within their own standard. Because again, while I do think companies have a right to a TOS, I still think you can bitch and moan about bad TOSs. The argument that conservatives make is that categorically there should be no TOS whatsoever outside of banning illegal content, because they know that if there was a TOS that banned non-illegal content, they would be first on the chopping block because they're racist, and that usually is the first thing to go. But so they're always going to argue in favor of effectively no terms of service at all. But so there's nothing hypocritical here at all. Well, actually, I don't really know Hassan's position on the whole TOS right censorship tolerance paradox blah blah thing. So I don't know. I'm speaking for myself here mostly.
On the platform, period. So let me break that down real quick. The way I see it, I appreciate that they're allowed to voice their opinions. I think a lot of people have taken clips from Vaush and Hassan out of context. There was one recently where people were like, Hassan is supporting Assange's extradition, and it was an out of context clip. I don't play that game. The full clip was him saying, yeah, I don't think Assange should be imprisoned forever, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But man,
the fuck, Vice described Vaush as just a libertarian. Yeah, and when you click the libertarian, it just links to a Twitter thread calling me a pedophile. It's actually incredible. We'll do an email campaign in this later because it's really funny. But see, earlier this week, libertarian streamer Vaush, and if you click it, it's the fucking VDS hate train Twitter thread with 100 likes or whatever. They're getting me down.
Stands are crazy. And I'm like, that's a fine opinion. If you want to claim that Hassan isn't supporting Assange, show me the full clip. Don't edit it. You know, recently some people that I know, good friends, were like, oh man, you know, I've seen these clips of Dave Rubin. They're kind of embarrassing. And I'm like, let me guess. Some guy on Twitter posted a clip. You saw it. You believed it. And they were like, yeah, you know, Dave was saying something about, you know, this, that, or otherwise. And I was like, dude, for all you know, be it Vaush, Hassan, Rubin, me, Crowder, anybody.
Rubin. We
could say something like, you know, I went to an ice cream shop and there was a man there who loudly proclaimed, I don't like vanilla ice cream. And I was shocked. You know, vanilla, that's like the flavor at the time. We wasn't equal. So I'm not playing these stupid games. Now, look, I like that they're on here expressing their opinions. I like being able to argue with them. I am not a fan of Hassan because I think he's an establishment player. Vaush is...
Hey! We gotta see. We broke bread together, Tim. I've been to your manor twice now. I won't lie. By the way, Tim, very good host. I will not lie. I would be lying if I said he wasn't. We'll see. It's gotta... Place your bets. How hard are we leaning? Let's go.
A bit of an establishment player, but he still is a little anti-establishment in many areas, and he was willing to concede a lot of points the left typically isn't. We've had him on the show a couple times. I can respect that. However, among both of
Love
their
you too, Tim.
opinions. They
Thank you.
believe these companies should have the right to enforce these TOS, and if they violate them, they should be banned. So what I tweeted in response to Vaush getting banned was, look, he knows they ban you for racial slurs. He outright says these are racial slurs, and he's going to use them. And then he got banned, and he's not crying about it. So I said, there's nothing wrong here. And what I mean by that is, both on the part of Vaush, he's not being hypocritical. He straight up said, yeah, they ban it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to own it and be a Chad. That's what he said. And then he got banned, and he was like, oh, there you go. Okay. If you
True. I'll say. Thank you. I appreciate being respected for my virtues. Yes, that is true. I saw the wall and I walked into it with my head held high. That's right. I see the tweet now. I didn't see it before. If you argue private companies can ban if they want, I didn't see anything wrong here. Vaush knew he used slurs, knew he banned slurs, he got banned. Yes, Karen is a heavily gendered term. Yeah, accept it. Be a Chad. Is Karen a slur? Yes, and I will use it. Yeah, go for it. Is Cracker a slur? Yeah, and I'll use it. Own that. Own that. Flex that. Don't run away from it. Oh, if only more people online had my strength of character.
accept the consequences that you advocate for, that's not hypocrisy. I just think it's a bad policy. It's a bad policy to advocate for. Us, on the other hand, has argued conservatives should just be following the rules. Well, I'll say the same to you, Hassan. You can't ask for special treatment. I, however, don't think anyone should be banned for using racial slurs. I think we should point them out, and society should say, we don't like that you do that, and people should make that choice. Dixtero reports Twitch banned the popular streamer just after 8:17 p.m. on Monday.
We got the gist here. How much? Let's see.
Care for the concept of anti-white racism. What matters is that big monolithic corporations don't care about you and will ban you when you advocate for this stuff. We also have this one from HITC or HITC.
Oh, hello.
Banned from Twitch indefinitely after Hassan.
What's this one? How many articles they write about me?
Suspension. So he basically came out and said he was going to say, that he believed Cracker and Ken were both slurs. He was going to own it and he was going to use it. I have tremendous respect for that. I think I completely disagree with it. I don't mind so much the idea of the word Karen, because that's more of a stereotypical statement than it is like a slur against a race. Cracker is a slur against a race, so I'm not a fan of that. I do not appreciate people using them, but I'm not going to cry about it. I mean, look, Vaush is a white dude saying it, whatever, man. If people want to say stuff, I'm not gonna sit here and say I agree with the guy or like that he does this. No, I actually think it's kind of gross.
Wait, HITC reached out to me? When did that happen? Okay, journalists, journos, I have a public email. You can... literally, on my YouTube account, if you go to details on the right-hand tab next to videos playlists, there's a details section. And if you click on it, you can see my email. It's right there.
But at least he owns it. He said, update, I was banned after the stream ended, LMAO. Oh, well, he accepts it. I can respect that. Here's the problem, ultimately, across the board, with this policy, with these ideas, the ideology of people like Hassan and people like Vaush saying massive multinational private corporations can privatize the commons and then ban people from them. Sorry, I'm actually, when it comes to economic policy and, when it comes to human rights, I'm on the left, unlike Hassan.
Right. So critical point here, okay? The issue, so there are a couple of arguments to make here, okay? The privatization of the commons is a real problem. Not going to argue against that. However, it is important to keep in mind that there are forms of non-illegal behavior that, if expressed broadly, would make many places utterly unusable. If you're in a bar and you start shouting really, really loud and won't shut up, they can remove you from that bar. You guys realize that, right? It's not just tech companies that do this. Every physical establishment has the right to remove you if you're operating in a disruptive way, private or public. If you're in a library and you're being an asshole, they can remove you. You don't have to break the law for them to remove you. They have the right to remove you from being there if they want to. And that is good. Sometimes that has been used for bad. Historically, this has been used in a racist way, But to not be able to do this at all would mean that there would be absolutely no way to manage any kind of public behavior in any setting outside of explicit violations of the law. And that would lead to, that would be ridiculous. In fact, it has, I think, no historical precedent. I can't think of any society, any time period where there has been absolutely no enforcement of space outside of literal violations of the law. I mean, I can't imagine any society functioning like that, So Do things get more complicated when we're talking about like massive multi-billion-dollar companies controlling social media platforms? Undeniably, and there are serious issues there. But let's be real, okay? The idea that terms of service shouldn't exist, or that it should be illegal to ban people for things that aren't explicitly illegal, is ridiculous. Do you want every single do you think like Disney should like what if people in Club Penguin could just spam gore porn, you know? Like what if what if like every single like small forum online, whether it be for like kids, like like nick.com/forum or whatever, like anything, people just spamming gore porn. The gore porn's not illegal. It's not. You can post people fucking pictures of corpses. The feds will never come after you for that. Like, is that what you want? Like, can you imagine like people spamming that and like, oh, we can't ban them? That would be illegal. Like, there's some law against banning people for not like. That would be ridiculous. Are you sure that's not illegal? Why would that be? No, I don't think that's illegal. I don't think that's legal. You know what I mean either way. I think that meaningfully. Don't think that meaningfully distinguishes anything. The point that I'm getting at is that I really do think that what Tim Pool is advocating for here is completely unsustainable. Showing porn to kids probably is. What? You're just posting on... There are kids on every social media platform. On Twitter, everywhere. No. You guys have to understand. If it was illegal to ban people for posting things that aren't explicitly illegal, the internet would be unworkable. It would be unworkable. Do you understand that? And so would public institutions. Public, private, anything. Vaush, I think you're being a bit uncharitable here. They're talking about banning political opinions / misinformation. No, they're not. What we're talking about here is using racial slurs. That's not a political opinion issue, and I know that because I'm on the left, and I just got banned for using racial slurs. I got banned for anti-Semitism last time, and I'm a very anti-Semite. The political opinion's not the issue here. What matters is the expression. Now, to be clear, social media companies are dog shit, and they are operated with profit incentives first and foremost. And Twitch in particular has a moderation team staffed, I'm assuming, entirely by orangutans, ill-tempered orangutans who are constantly distracted by jangling keys. So I am not I'm not surprised that stuff like this would be mishandled, Oh yeah, you wouldn't be able to ban bots either. Ooh, that's a really good point. If you could never ban people for the stuff they post, how could you ever ban bots? Companies would never ban bots from social media because there's a risk that they would end up banning humans. And if banning humans outside of them posting illegal content would be against the rules, yeah, they would. Oh my God, it would be completely unworkable. All right.
And Vaush, which is really quite hilarious. And now all of their stands are going to flip out and be like, how dare you say that? Oh, I'll make it really simple. I believe the commons should not be privatized. I believe the commons should be held by the people. I believe that
even if it was held by the people, we would still need terms of service. I've said this before. Even if it was held by the people, you would need terms of service. Public institutions have rules for decorum in those buildings. Town hall, DMVs, all of them. You can behave in ways that are entirely legal and still get thrown out.
A private company comes in and buys up the space in which people engage in discourse,
That's
with
bad.
a very serious problem. And then it is the role of the community to say no to the privatization of the public commons. So to put it simply, when Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, etc. take over the space by which we communicate with each other and advocate for policy and our political opinions, we have a problem.
Well, they didn't really take over it. They kind of created the space. But anyway, I don't think this argument is really going to advance much from the position that it's in right now. But yeah, what Tim is doing right here is conflating. He's kind of synthesizing, merging the privatization of the commons with the enforcement of TOS. But that is just not the case. That's just simply not the case at all. They are two separate things. TOS are with us forever. And by the way, if you want to see that that's really the case, go take a look at those so-called pro-free speech conservative platforms. You guys remember Gab? We're a free speech platform. Didn't Gab ban porn? They banned lefties in huge waves. Like, yeah, Parler, yeah. They ban like crazy and explicitly for people's political opinions too. Not for slurs or for this, that, or the other, but explicitly they target people for their political opinions. There is no political group in existence right now who genuinely doesn't want terms of service, okay? There are people who will pretend to for money or because they haven't thought out their positions.
Of far-right authoritarianism. As commons must be protected by the community, but support multinational billion-dollar corporations shutting down public discourse. Okay,
It's kind of like the Tucker Carlson bit. This is like Nazgul vortex tier shit, you know what I mean? Like, hey, listen to my argument as to why we can't ban Nazis off social media. It has to do with socialism. Trust me, guys.
It'd be like me saying that they should sell peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Claims its fact checks are open.
Ah, different section. Okay, on to the next one. The quartering. Epic fail. Hassan and Vaush banned for hate speech from Twitch. Leftists can't understand why. I understand why. Who doesn't understand why? What do you want? Banned. Yes, the soyest boy. The soyest of all boys on the internet. Let's go. Oh, if you're watching right now, sorry, I just took a look at the numbers below his video. If you're watching right now, make sure to like the stream. What does this have? 5.2k likes? Do you think we can beat that? You're at 1900 right now. If all of you just summon the energy, the courage to click that like button, I think we can beat that. It's a high bar, I won't lie. 5.2 is a lot. Usually it's like 40% of the concurrent viewers of a stream. That's the like count. But I believe in you guys, okay? Hit that button. What does it cost you? Am I right? You know? I'll tell you what's the opposite of a cost. I'll tell you what it gifts you. A feeling of community, you know? As you move your mouse cursor over that thumbs up button and click on it, you understand you're doing so in tandem with hundreds of other people doing it in that moment. Like a collective. It's like you're reaching out against the computer, and they're reaching out to you as well. You're not alone. You're not alone. Yes, align your chakras to each other. I believe in you. Okay, it's at 3,300. If you just pump that 2,000 more, we make it. I believe in you. Let's see if we can make that by the end of the video. That's a challenge to you guys, okay? And I'm only challenging you like this because I trust and believe in you.
Why it's not the same in the video that you refused to watch and just wrote that argument against. Who are you arguing against?
People watch this guy?
Who said this?
Who?
Did I say, oh my God, saltine cracker? Like people are just bitter because it's saltine cracker. That's not what I said. You dumb cracker bitch.
See, that's what I thought got him banned. Not just saying cracker, but that's what I thought, like calling people like that I thought was what got him banned. It was, you know. Wait, what is it? Hey, don't you copyright me. Stop. Stop. What is this? I don't know. What is it? Stop. What is that? It's still racist to call white people crackers if you're angry at them. It still is. By definition. Wait, it's me. That's me. Sorry, but if you're spending your time pleading your humanity to brain-poisoned crackers right now... me! Hey, are you ready for the hottest take you're ever going to hear in your life? Even if there's no systemic oppression behind it, it's still racist to call white people crackers if you're angry at them. True. It still is. By definition, it is. True. Wait, you can't rope me in with this. I knew what I was doing. Okay. Also, what is it with this picture of me, man? I need to get like a photo shoot done for like proper headshot pictures, you know? Hey, keep liking the stream. All right, I know all your addresses. Whenever a person joins a live stream and they don't hit the like button, I instantly get an email giving me your address and social security number, okay? I'm sitting on this information. You don't want to know what I'll do with it next.
There's no such thing as cancel culture. This would appear to be what they like to refer to as consequence culture. In fact,
what is
it would
this
appear
voice?
that Twitch, for some bizarre reason, decided to evenly enforce their own rules, and two of the world's most prominent champagne...
Is he drunk? Okay, hold on. The quartering. You pre-record your videos. This isn't live, I don't think. Come on, man.
Socialists, two of the people with some of the most heinous opinions I've ever heard, in my opinion, received bans from the platform on the very same day, with one of them being permanent. Now, what were these bans for? Well, they were saying terrible things about a group of people. A group of people that is normally you're allowed to say things about, according to progressive politics, but for whatever reason, Twitch decided to enforce some rules. Now, I don't.
Okay, wait. Unironically, is this guy drunk or does he have like some kind of brain damage? What are we? Why is he? Normal is bad. This Twitch, but they said things, and it's not good. They said the things. Get to the fucking point.
I don't. As far as I know, depending on, for example, Vaush's history, I don't celebrate anybody's permanent ban. Even though I strongly disagree with the things that both of these people say, I wouldn't want them banned permanently. Now, I've been informed that this is like Hassan's third ban for saying terrible things. And
why is he saying terrible things? Will you get demonetized on YouTube for saying cracker? No way. Cracker is a food. You can't. You can say the word.
Vaush has received other bans too. So I don't, because Twitch doesn't actually have a clear system. It's difficult to like.
Wait, I'm sorry. Okay. Somebody in chat just added Doe and said, hey, how long is your ban? I haven't heard any details, because there was a streamer called Fawn, no relation, who was banned. And Fawn and Doe are both dear terms. That's very funny. I've made that mistake myself. At least once. Lumi, apparently. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Support any kind of permanent ban from them. With YouTube, you receive your third strike, it's coming for the most part. There's a clear line of delineation, and when you cross it, you get permanently banned. So it's easier to kind of say like, well, you knew better. With Twitch, they don't enforce their own rules evenly, and we see.
Vaughn is also Demon Mama's partner who's on stream a lot.
Wait, was that Fawn?
No, it's not. Fawn is
oh, yeah, and there's also a Fawn who's the partner of Demon Mama. This is another Fawn. Okay, Fawn, who's Demon Mama's partner, is Faun,
yes.
Right? And the Fawn that got banned from Twitch is Fawn.
And there's Doe, a different person, friends with Demon Mama, also, and Fawn.
Yes, and Doe, who is friends with Demon Mama, and I guess also is a streamer. I mean, yeah, though not often. And it's not banned. And Doe is and is not banned. Okay.
This with the tub meta and all this other stuff. So regardless of both of these people's history of bans, I don't know that I would call using the term cracker something that would be on its own worth a permanent ban. But I guess that's what they call consequence culture. Before we get into the hilarity of this story, I just want to point out that I take some schadenfreude a little bit. I'm only human. But, based on just saying cracker or something like that, I'm not a fan of a permaban.
Thank you.
For either of these people, again, I would rather their opinions be right out there in the open so that they can be disinfected by sunlight versus, banning people. What's an interesting thing is, so essentially both of these people were banned for hate speech, for using the term cracker as a pejorative for white people. I think that...
Oh, hold on, wait. I don't think I actually used it as a pejorative. I used it referentially, to be fair. Hassan was calling people cracker out of anger. I didn't, and then immediately after my ban, I started doing it a lot. So, to be fair, I was really just holding back for the sake of Twitch. But now that I'm unchained, there will be a lot more... there will be a lot more slurring out of me, I think.
Context matters with these type of terms. I think there's you have the hard R, which Vaush has no problem saying, and then all the other naughty words, right? The hard R is on a different level. I think we all can agree on that. Whether or not that's warranted, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying it's treated quite differently, especially obviously here in America. But the fact of the matter is, when you're using this term, am I offended if someone calls me a cracker? No, words don't hold that power over me. But especially that one. But, it is a term. It is hate speech. It is a term that is defined, at least currently, as a racist term. And they weren't using it in a like as an example of, or like defining it. They were using it as a pejorative for white people and doubling down on it. Now I saw the clip that got Hassan banned, and that was exactly what happened. The clip, Vaush, he's got a more, speckled past history with Twitch from what I can tell. But I mean, famous last words and everything.
Karen a slur then? Yes. Literally, yeah. Yes, Karen is a heavily gendered term. Yeah. Accept it. Be a Chad. Is Karen a slur? Yes. And I will use it. Yeah, go for it.
This is a kind of a getting out over your skis moment for Vaush. This clip, he's talking about how, he uses these slurs and it doesn't matter. And then obviously juxtaposed with the classic Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
Well, wait. I didn't say it didn't matter. I was saying to own the fact that they're slurs. I didn't say it didn't matter.
That he has received a permanent ban. Now, Hassan, I guarantee, isn't permanent, but it's interesting watching the game's media cover this. We have that weirdo Nathan Grayson, right, saying Twitch has suspended two popular political streamers, Hassan and Vaush, for using the word cracker, which Twitch...
4K likes on YouTube. What are you guys doing? We're almost at 10K viewers, too. We pump them numbers, you goddamn rookies.
Seemingly considers a slur. Well, actually, the dictionary considers it a slur. 100 years of history in this country considers it a slur. But, again, there's one group of people that you're allowed to say heinous things about. And
wait, is this real? Wikipedia page with the term cracker has been changed to remove any mention of it being a slur? I really feel like we're taking the wrong road here. This is like the racism equals prejudice plus power thing, okay? Guys, the problem isn't slurs. Slurs are morally neutral. I'm not kidding, okay? The issue is how much harm is caused by any given term or by the context of the term, okay? That's the reason why the N-word's a lot worse than saying cracker. It's not because one of them is more of a slur than the other. They are both equally a slur. They both fit the definition of a slur. They're both that. It's still both of that. One of them is worse, not because it's more slur, but because it refers to and calls upon and invokes way more social harm than the other, But you just take that, hit that. Hit that up. Do you concede to TERFs that TERF is a slur? No, not at all. A TERF is a pejorative for a political position, not for a person's demographic or identity. It's not a nationality, sex, gender, whatever. It's explicitly a target against a person's political position. But political positions are demographics, not in the way we're referring to here.
Promoted.
Cracker literally refers to a specific racist power dynamic too. Yeah, and the N-word by racists is usually used to refer to a particular kind of black person. Do you think that's acceptable because there's a behavioral element to the invocation of the term? Don't be ridiculous. They're slurs.
And you get, worshipped for it. Do I think that, Hassan and Vaush thought they were, that they were untouchable by using this term? Yeah, I do believe that. I do believe neither of them actually thought they were going to be banned for it. True. I'm actually shocked that Twitch banned them. I'm not kidding. Like, it is shocking. But both of them used the term knowing that it was against terms of service and knowing that, they were using it in a pejorative manner.
Well, wait. No, actually, the concern here was that we didn't know that it was against terms of service because people have been saying cracker for a really long time on Twitch. So, the point here was that we were both quite surprised that this was suddenly now something Twitch was moderating on
against a group of people. To me, maybe I'm just not woke enough, but I think it's in general pretty bad, pretty low IQ, grouping any group of people together and saying simply because they have the same skin color, they're either better or worse than the individual parts inside them. I think that you can have pride in your heritage, and that's fine. But there's something really cringy about thinking simply because my skin color is a certain way, I'm better than anyone else. Or also thinking simply because their skin color is different, that they're better or worse than anyone else. This is just racism. I don't really know any other way to describe it. Now, obviously, we know that dictionary.com and Wikipedia are now progressive political outlets that redefine words constantly, a la 1984. But any
This guy is such a fucking pussy, dude. Holy shit. This guy, keep in mind, this is the guy who said he would debate Lance of the Serfs if Lance did a charity stream and raised enough money to donate to a cause, and Lance did, and then he backed out anyway. He's an unbelievable fucking pussy. The quivering. I don't know why people call him the quarter pounder. Is he fat? Yeah, but that's not even close. What is that? Being fat? Who's fat? Everyone's fat. His sheer cowardice is by far the most objectionable. Apart from the fact that he just always seems to be drunk, you know? Like, he just constantly... The thing that offends me most about him is just the idea that people, like, watch him, you know what I mean? I feel like he's always melting, you know what I mean? Like, how would you put it? Spiritually greasy.
Normal person knows that the term cracker is a pejorative for white people. Again, does it offend me? No, but it still is that word. It still has that definition, as much as progressives want to erase it.
Wait, but I was just saying that's its definition.
Twitch banned the popular streamer just after 8 o'clock on Monday. The 30-year-old was watching clips on stream for more than 40,000 viewers. Hassan watching clips of other people's content for 40,000 viewers.
The quartering, is that a joke? Have you taken a look at your YouTube channel? You are the last person. You are the last your React Andy content is the thing you do. Okay.
Shocking. Before ending the broadcast, which was when he was hit with the ban, Hassan had been embroiled in an ongoing debate surrounding the use of the word cracker during his live streams. According to some of his fans, the use of the word is a hateful slur. It is. And that should be
stopped. He's like 40, I think.
In response, Hassan said, "I've been called cracker more times than every single one of you effing pasty little cracker bees in my chat, okay? I actually highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. Nobody even uses that term anymore."
I have been called cracker many times, to be fair. I get, because of all my arguments with the black separatists, you know, the formerly known as Fred Hampton leftists, not leftists, you know, I've gotten hit with it quite a few times. Yeah, Professor Flower stuff. I wear it on my skin. I wear it as armor. My cracker themed scale mail armor.
So if he thinks he's been called a cracker twice and they've all been called it once, I suppose maybe you can make that statement. No official reason has been given, although Hassan did say, he says, yes, it's exactly what you think it's for. Anti-white racism. For when Hassan laughed off claims that is being racist, he's just assuming because of definition. It's just that this like whole, you get to like disparage white people because that's acceptable. No, it's not. Just like it isn't acceptable to do to any group. And now Hassan apparently trying to drag Dream into it, you know, because Dream uses the term cracker. So
wait, how is he dragging Dream into it? Dream replied to Hassan. Hassan, what do you mean dragged him into it? He replied.
You know, he posts the term and he's like, arrest this man. I get that you aren't offended by the term, but it is a slur, and it is used as a pejorative for a group of people that are of the same race. It's pathetic that you would try to defend that. It's appalling that you would think that there's nothing wrong with it. Enjoy your 7-day vacation off Twitch in your multi-million-dollar mansion. I'm sure you'll be fine. I hope you enjoyed this video. Can't believe Twitch actually evenly enforced their rules. We'll talk to you.
He's not. Listen, he's not mad. The quartering is not mad, okay? I see people saying that he's mad, and he's not. He told me in DMs that he's not mad, and I don't want anyone getting the idea that he's mad, because he's not, okay? We've got one more video lined up from Styx Hexenhammer. Hold on. This fucking weirdo. This guy. Whew. Speaking of spiritually greasy. Let's go. How you doing, man? Every time I take a look at Styx... Yeah, this is a blast from the past. This was the guy who unprompted made a video saying he wouldn't debate me. He did it before Sargon of Akkad did. He just, it was just out of nowhere, and it was like, I won't debate him. I wasn't even asking to debate him. I hadn't even mentioned it. I wonder if I can find that actually, because it is very funny. Hold on. Styx Hexenhammer. Such a long name. Debate BreadTube. I think he said BreadTube. Yeah, here we go. Why I won't debate the grift left, the BreadTube crowd. But like in all of BreadTube, there's like 2 guys who do debates, and I'm the biggest. So
All right, everyone. It's funny when you have.
Oh, also, he has 500,000 subs, and for some reason, he uses, like, a Nintendo DS microphone.
Have astroturfing campaigns, and if you know anything about linguistics, it's usually pretty easy to be able to tell who's doing this. I suspect that this might be the case among a group that's openly semi-organized amongst themselves. That is the BreadTube crowd, and it's not really just that mechanic apparatus by which they out themselves on 4chan. Because this is definitely happening. Or
best part.
Other people probably do it on their behalf as part of, again, a semi-organized system. Thanks, just to piss people off. So I piss largely independently. These individuals, this is how I'm going to make money, or this is how I'm going to get people to subscribe to and watch my content. I simply was making content. It was the right place at the right time. It wasn't even, I don't even necessarily credit talent other than speaking ability, because really it was situational. If the election hadn't been going on and I hadn't been, analyzing politics with the finesse that I had to do that, I don't know what I'd be at right now. I guess I'd still be making mostly like, spooky videos or some cat videos at this point, or less and less lucrative. I'm sorry, but you're not bringing home the bacon anymore.
All right, I'm bored of this. Can we just acknowledge that Styx needs to take the goddamn fem pill already? Vaush, it's cringe to tell people to be trans. Styx isn't a person. He's just cringe. Too cringe to live. Too femme to die. Really, though, right? Just saying. All right, hit me up.
All right, everyone, we have a special video here, which is that Twitch went on a banning spree. We've seen a lot of those lately. We've certainly seen it on Twitter. Only this time it was aimed at people who are on the left, Hassan Piker and Vaush. Now, let's put this in perspective. My first inclination is to chuckle slightly. Hassan Piker has argued for tech censorship for years now. He is a hypocrite. He's got a multi-million-dollar mansion and pretends to give a shit about the working class. He's their working class hero. He's sort of like a John Lennon minus the vocal talent, I suppose.
I love hypocrisy arguments. It's been every single video we've seen so far. They can never construct an argument from the ground up on its own footing. It always has to be, well, and hey, by the way, I also make enough money for you to make fun of me for this. Rip me in on it, okay? You know my monthly income on YouTube. What? Rope me in. I feel like they're calling me poor. I'm not poor. I work for 3 hours a day. I play video games in front of a camera. What do you want from me?
Vaush, of course, picked a fight with me before I even knew who the hell he was. This was
wait, when did I pick a fight? What? Okay.
Long ago, like in 2017 or 18 or something like that.
I started on 2019.
To him, just pointing out that I wouldn't justify the breadliners by even mentioning these people. Completely flipped shit and
okay, he's actually mentioning it. First of all, it was in 2020. Second of all, again, I never challenged him to a debate. He just unprompted. The thing is, okay, when I started rising, when Vaush rose, okay, in the comments of all of these fucking grifty fuck conservative YouTube channels were people saying you should debate Vaush. Sometimes it was conservatives wanting them to own me, and sometimes it was my boys wanting them to own me. And, the pressure got to them, okay? Because shortly after I crushed Sargon in the second debate, and he'll never talk to me again. He's such a pussy. He didn't want to talk clearly. He came out, Styx, with his I won't debate the left video. And I appreciate him acknowledging he was referring to me with his I won't debate BreadTube video. It's kind of cowardly to say BreadTube when you mean me, but then Sargon made the same video.
Continued. His fans continue to this day because, maybe not dealing with the highest IQs in the world, but...
Oh, wait. Didn't he also post my dick a bunch on Twitter? Wasn't he one of the people who posted my dick a bunch? Or am I just thinking of other people? Did he? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he posted my cock and balls a bunch.
I'm also not a hypocrite. When a big
no,
tech
Sargon
site,
and him both did, I think.
One of them, decides to ban people for something that's fairly innocuous, I'm going to speak out against it because I have principles. In this,
how does it feel to know people are just obsessed with your cock? Okay, so the context here is that there was a picture of me where I'm wearing joggers, like tight, tight, what are they called? Sweatpants, basically. Like you're supposed to run in them. That's why they're called joggers. And it was it hugged my cock and balls, pretty tight. And there was a picture of me standing where the shadow from the overhead light made it very distinct, my ball and my other ball and my penis. And anyway, in case those of you're not familiar with anatomy, penises are small sometimes and big other times. It's a whole process. It's crazy, really. When you're older, you can ask your parents. But anyway, okay. So there's that, and then there were a couple other nude photos that I posted in my Discord, like way back when I started streaming, like 5 minutes after I started streaming, because my thought was, if I ever get big, I'm going to want to fuck groupies. And if I do, eventually one of them will hate me and post my nudes online as an own. So the best way to get ahead of that is to just post my nudes beforehand, which is A, very smart, and B, you probably shouldn't fuck groupies anyway. I've had to turn down, I have to beat you people off with a stick. Was that unironically a reasoning? Yes. But anyway, so I posted those. We've got soft photos, hard photos, and the soft photos. Okay, Sargon. I remember this Sargon. And sometimes Sticks Hexenhammer. I think they were posting these photos of my soft penis, or me with the bulge, with like the joggers on. Like saying that I have a small dick. But the thing that's funny is that there are photos of me erect right next to the other ones on Discord. And to this day, I have never seen them posted by any of these people, which I find tremendously funny, I actually am waiting for the next time I talk to Sargon, if I can ever be like, remember when you posted all those cock and ball photos? And, he could deny it, but I'd press him on it. And then I'd ask, like, why didn't you ever post a one where I was erect? Like, they were also available. They were right there. Did it not prove your point? I just... You missed some pictures. You could have epically owned me, you could have gotten me there. Don't give the game away. I've said this before. But how funny is that, right? I mean, it's like, it's pretty weird to post like a bunch of picture of my dick and balls on Twitter. That's kind of weird. In my personal opinion, at least, I guess if that's how Sargon wants to spend his time.
Particular case, they had used the term cracker as a racial pejorative.
Whoa!
Now, as a white person, you can see, do I care if somebody calls me that? No, I find it funny. The usage tends to be humorous and in some cases actually satirical. That being said, or other similar pejoratives, you can think of a million of them. But when people use them, do I believe that they should be banned from speaking on other topics?
Every single one of these videos is exactly the same, man. They're like, haha, Vaush and Hassan. Now, just to let you know, I'm okay with racial slurs, but, and then it's going to be like, well, this is funny because they think you should ban fascists, but they don't like it when you're racist to black people. Checkmate, or whatever.
Because they have used this particular pejorative.
Yeah,
no,
seriously,
I don't believe that. Link in the description, by the way, you can see the reactions on this particular thing. I like to think that I'm one of the very few content creators who hasn't been so alienated by the pro-censorship crowd that I would stoop to the level of abandoning my own deeply held beliefs on the concept of censorship to not defend people who are, at least if not intelligent, at least notable content creators, based on them being abused by big tech. What I would say is I told you so. And this is a perennial sort of thing that I have to say. I've warned about all manner of things with regards to politics. I analyze these things for a living. I had been talking back in the early 2010s about a coming pandemic, which you have...
Chat. A question for the distinguished intellectuals in our company. What exactly is the difference? Huh? Explain to me. Right now. They're the same picture. Two of the same picture.
in the form of the demographic displacement virus engineered in China, partially with U.S. money. And I had warned people on the left who either did not speak out against censorship, which is more common, or spoke in favor of censorship, which is arguably less common, but it still does happen. Still surprised to this day. I don't understand why so many of these people refuse to get on new tech sites. I understand, well, your audience may say, well, it's just full of Nazis, it's an echo chamber. Well, I mean, you're on echo chambers. Twitch is run by people who buy and...
No. I appreciate that. He's very upfront. Well, these alternative sites are full of Nazi echo chambers. And he's like, yeah, okay, well, Twitch is mildly progressive.
Large or far left. You're in an echo chamber already. It's just one in which people more likely agree with you to a greater or lesser extent. It's not helpful. Echo chambers tend to devolve over time. They either purity spiral themselves out of existence, or they become more heavily censored, so the creators are out of existence, or they devolve and they just shrink over time. You filled the lake. Now evaporation is occurring, and the lake is slowly shrinking. Well, it may be okay now, but 5 years, 10 years down the line, will it be? I play a long game. I will stick to my guns, and I will defend.
Yeah, only 4.7k likes on the VOD. You guys are almost at 5,000. You jabronis are gonna stop at the finish line. Jesus Christ! What? You quit everything in life? Your parents are disappointed in you.
Anyone who is treated this way by big tech. That includes, and by the way, I defended Hassan Piker, I think, 2 years ago. He had a Twitch ban, if I remember correctly. And there were some people that were mad at me. I said, I don't think that he should be banned. I realize there's hypocrisy. I realize that there's grifting. I realize that leftoids aren't my friends. They're not going to defend me. If I get banned tomorrow from Twitch, do you think that they would speak out on my behalf? Absolutely not. But that's not how I do business. I go by ideology as opposed to by,
Thank you. Yes, you're very principled. All right, yeah, they all say the same thing. I will say, by the way, in terms of consistency, that at the time and to this day, I still think it's fucked up that Count Dankula was fined for that Nazi pug salute thing. The idea of the government issuing fines or arresting people for, like, fucking online shitposting, even if it's Nazi shitposting, is something I'm deeply uncomfortable with, you know?